I apologize for being black, for all I am plus all I lack. Please, sir, please, ma'am, give me some slack, cause I apologize, cause I apologize, cause I apologize.
My apologies. You know, for the last, 2 years or something, we've been doing the Rise and Grind show, the podcast at least. And sometimes, you know, I see some trends coming from some of you cats' emails, so I had to make a podcast apologizing as a man to a lot of you, because I'm starting to really realize that the things I'm telling you on this stuff, and you guys are going out there and telling people, man, and it makes me die laughing, because a lot of you cats come back kind of discouraged, saying, you know, Freeman, I told him this, and you know, they came back at me with this old sucker shit, man. What? You know what I'm saying? Y'all make me die laughing, man. But it's let me sum up the thing, and then I'll get into the whole podcast. You know, when the world is, you know, when everybody thought the world was flat, for somebody to come around and say the world is round, people probably looked at it like you're crazy. Now, I don't think I'm telling you anything special on here that would make anybody question whether the world is flat or round. But when a man goes about his life a certain way, and he ends up being a sucker, 30, 40, 50-year-old sucker, and you coming along, you being younger than him, first of all, you being able to prove what you say, smacks people in the face, and most men don't want to do right, homie. They just want to be right. You know, there's a difference between doing right and being right. A person who wants to do right makes changes. You know, if you get in new information, you make those changes. A man who wants to be right doesn't give a shit about anything. He just wants to be right. So if you say, hey man, you could save this much money, you don't need a 401k, how much are they going to pay you in your 401k? $3,000-$4,000? Why don't you go get some rental apartments, or buy a condos, or buy some apartments or some houses or something? Why don't you do that? You don't even have to worry about that shit no more. Now that the 401k is off the table, you can go live your life. You know, it was really shocking to most people is that the thing is real simple. All the things I'm trying to tell you are not real harsh on you, homie. It's not something you have to really go to college for. College is something that is used to advance the empire. For those of us who want an empire, we need that knowledge. For those of us who just want to sit and own a 2-3 acres of land and you cool, then you don't need to worry about a lot of the stuff I'm saying. You can just own your land and own your house and get you one rental property, and you probably be good for the rest of your life. But the reason why I called this, and you know, I apologize. It wasn't called I'm sorry. It doesn't make any difference. I don't like saying I'm sorry because I'm not a sorry person. I prefer to use I apologize. You know, it's because I didn't get a lot of you cats to really sign in, man. You know how they got that thing. You know how you download a new software and they say you have to agree to the terms of using this, of Java or whatever before. You know, I didn't let you guys, you know, you cats agree to the terms of the game, because I know y'all getting hit left and right with this stuff, man. I've been trying to tell you to be quiet, but you know, it's like when you run into a cat who just got saved, and he wants to tell the whole world that he's been saved. He wants to save everybody, homie. Y'all, a lot of y'all cats running wild with this information, and y'all sprinkling people, you know, and that's good in the whole scheme of things, because maybe you're going to find some cats who really want to listen, want to do something. But for the majority of people, come on, homie. There's sheep and there's shepherds. I'm here to teach you how to be shepherds. You know what I'm saying? There's kings and then there's peasants. I'm trying to raise you out of being a peasant. Don't get mad when the rest of the people prefer to be peasants. You know what I'm saying? You can't be mad at them. So the reason why I want to make this I apologize thing is because y'all getting hit left and right with stuff, man. And so let me start off with first apologizing to you cats who feel that your parents didn't lace you. You know, some of your emails from some of you cats, man, y'all kill me with this, but you know, y'all say, damn, man, Freeman, you know, my parents got an education, they got degrees and all kind of shit, and we over here struggling. God damn it, why couldn't they figure this shit out like you said to them? This information been out here for fucking 50, 60 years. And you know what I'm saying? Damn, man, make me feel like, you know. But, you know, that's just you being a spoiled brat, homie. Let me explain game to you, man. The hardest thing to admit in life is to admit that your parents or your uncles or people you looked up to might not know this game. Might not know how to play it, might not know how to execute, homie. You know what I'm saying? The goal is for you to execute it, and then for you to teach it to them. But realistically, they're gonna be happy for you, man, because realistically, when a man doesn't know a way out and someone shows him a way out, especially his own son, his nephew, his niece, people are proud of it because you're a product of them. Even though the game didn't come from them, they take credit for it. So you gotta know that, you know, first I just want to apologize for that, because y'all some disrespectful cats. Y'all don't know how to talk to people appropriately. You know what I'm saying? And really make sure people understand that you appreciate all that they've done, but I have to take it another step further. So I wanted to apologize for that. Second, you know, a lot of you cats, I have to apologize too. A lot of you cats are really on the grind, man. I appreciate it, and it encourages me, you know what I'm saying, to hear your stories of you cats really making them changes. And now that you're starting to see the fruits of your labor, you know what I'm saying, y'all starting to turn into advocates, homie, and disciples, which I you know, I want you to be your own man, homie, but I understand, again, I get it. But, you know, a lot of you cats are turning this around and trying to pretty much put up your friends on game, homie. Y'all spend a lot of time trying to, you know, educate your boys, educate your partners you happen to be around, but they not really seeing it either. So y'all give me an email and say, you know, Freeman, I'm telling him he should do this with his money, and you know what I'm saying, he doesn't want to hear me on this, but don't you think this is this? And of course I come back and agree with you, homie, tell you, you know, you seeing it for what it really is, you know what I'm saying, but your boy ain't. So same thing I always come back and tell you to do, man. It doesn't matter. It's the same answer I'm gonna give to all y'all cats. It's for you to do and for them to follow, homie. I mean, that's the game. If every man waited for everybody else to come on board, he would never go anywhere. So it's for you to do and for them to follow, man. So you feeling bad because your boys, you're like, man, you know, my boy over here, he making a lot of money. He could be making moves. We could be owning things. We could be, you know, independent and all this shit. We could shine forever. We can go wherever we want to do if we just, you know, do the steps, do the little basic stuff, man. Stop tricking and start stacking. You know what I'm saying? If we could just start doing that shit, I would have a lot more people. But, you know, you can't, you know, I think I told you the story a long time ago, homie, when I was trying to get one of my best friends, man, to come with me to college. I told him, you can copy off my test. I don't care. We'll get all the way through it. But I couldn't make another man, even my best friend, come with me. You understand what I'm saying? Because I can get through college. We're going to hustle through it. I just needed somebody to roll with, you know what I'm saying? Instead of me against the world, how about it's us against the world? Just couldn't happen, homie. Sometimes you have to go this thing alone, and this is the game. You know what I'm saying? Third thing I want to apologize for, man, is y'all starting the cats that are in school. I appreciate it. I'm proud of you cats for making that adjustment, homie. You know, getting back on track, man. You know, these papers mean a lot to the suckers. They mean nothing to a hustler, homie. You have to remember that. The only paper we like is the green ones, the ones that don't fold, because we've been stacking them so high, homie. I mean, we need to keep that as our focus. But we in this world, we on this earth, we walk in these streets, homie. We got to adjust to the environment. So when y'all cats are in college, you know, somebody come along and sprinkle you and tell you what the job is going to do, and you trying to, you know, educate them, homie. You trying to empower them. You trying to enlighten them to the game, and, you know, get them to know, hey, look, this stuff don't matter. This stuff was really matter. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, one of the cats I saw on one of the posts, he put it, you know, he's talking to a career counselor, and, you know what I'm saying, the career counselor doing his job, trying to help you to get a job, young homie, you know what I'm saying? But I can understand it, because when they start coming back down that plantation thinking, homie, I mean, it's hard for us to stop saying, hey, man, fuck all that dumb shit, man. I mean, this is, you know, I'm going to play the game, homie. They paying 30, 40, 50 on this side. I'm with getting my money, homie, but stop acting like it's a rewarding career and shit, and stop acting like you're one of them Everest or ITT commercials where the motherfuckers are sitting there thanking God that they get to screw in a light bulb, homie. It's nothing against them cats. But, you know, a lot of us, you know, we ain't brainwashed no more. So all these promises of employee of the month and stickers and shit and extra days off and special appreciations day, save that for the kids, homie. Save that for the dogs and shit. You know what I'm saying? For the animals in this game. You know, I'm a man. I don't need all that shit. But I had to apologize because a lot of you cats are getting blowback from really knowing the end while you're in the middle, homie. And that's just something. You know, I wanted to make sure when I did the Rise and Grind that a lot of you young cats, man, could see the future. You know what I'm saying? Could see how this game is played, how you're young enough right now to really turn into a millionaire or billionaire, homie. How these rules that I'm trying to give out to you, only because I went through them, homie, could I tell you them. But You know what I'm saying? All these rules that have to be mastered and understood, how you have to learn and manipulate this game. A lot of you cats are in the middle of your hustle, man, in the middle of that empire. You know, you stop being a sucker. You're in the middle. You're getting educated. And then the last thing, you're gonna be a hustler in this game. You're gonna know how to manipulate everything. Stocks, bonds, property, businesses. What kind of business? You know what I'm saying? How to go into meetings, how to structure your paperwork, corporation. I'm trying to arm you to be a king, homie. I'm not trying to arm you to be an underling, you dig? So when y'all go into these things, man, y'all gotta learn how to be humble in the middle of this shit, man, because y'all really gonna run into a lot of dudes thinking y'all know too much. And the last, not even the last, because I got some more apologies to dole out, homie. One of the biggest apologies I want to give you is one that I go through on a daily basis. When you know this kind of information, homie, you know more than the average bear, homie. You understand what I'm saying? You know more than the majority of people you're walking around with. On this earth, man, in your day-to-day, homie, you know more. And as a result, a cockiness comes over you. And when I say cockiness, I don't mean like you telling people, you know, what's that called? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm better than you. A cockiness comes over you because you know otherwise. You know better than, homie. You know more than. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing I tried to explain to you when they aren't better than you. They just know better than you. They know more things. Now you're becoming one of those dudes who knows more things. A long time ago, man, maybe, 3, 4, 5 years ago, for some of you cats, you would see a rich person say, he thinks he's rich. He thinks he's this. He thinks he's that. That rich dude ain't doing shit to you. But now, since you're starting to get the understanding of the chip game, now you're becoming the dude that people say, he thinks he knows it all. He thinks he got a plan. But all you did was know a little bit more, homie. When you get this kind of knowledge, the knowledge of yourself and knowledge of what you're capable of doing, and you stop being, subject to suckers, homie, and what they believe is how the world goes around, you develop a certain amount of cockiness. And it's cockiness, arrogance, I don't know, man. My shit come across because I'm just quiet. If a motherfucker sits there and quiet and he doesn't believe you, then the motherfucker starts saying, well, that dude always believe he knows something more. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, I'm just having a damn drink, man. I ain't even sweating y'all motherfuckers. So I have to apologize for that too, man, because that is a byproduct of knowledge, homie. The byproduct of knowledge is a certain amount of knowing, and that knowing is not something that's just in your brain, homie. That knowing is how you walk, how you talk, how you eat, how you dress, how you don't get intimidated by people no more. You know they aren't nobodies. You know that all this dude is a gatekeeper. You know that he ain't strong enough to do what he say he gonna do. You start being able to see what these motherfuckers really are, and that knowing is a motherfucker, homie. And once you know it, you walk it and you live it. And a lot of you cats are getting blowback off from that. Take that in stride, homie. That's part of this game. That's part of knowing, part of standing up on your own too, that you become your own man, your own woman, and you know otherwise. You understand what I mean? When you break down the word otherwise, you know another form of being wise, homie. You know another thing. That's what we do. We know otherwise, homie. You understand what I'm saying? We know some other shit besides the shit you saying. I know otherwise. And one of the biggest apologies I have to give you cats, man, is that what I call that loneliness. And you're not really lonely. Let's call it a lone, man. That who can you share this with except other cats that might be listening to the Rise and Grind, homie? Who's really, I'm not trying to toot my own horn in this shit, because I've been laced. I've been sitting under other cats for a long period of time, listening, adapting, learning. Like I said, you heard me say I listen to other people's podcasts. I listen to all kind of shit, man, because I want all the information. I want all of it. So that means I have to be in a receiving mode. That means I have to be in a humble mode. That means I have to be a good listener, homie. So, you know what I'm saying? But the game is, who are you going to walk around except other motherfuckers who trying to build an empire? Who got that mentality? You know what I'm saying? And since we know in this game, most motherfuckers are not, don't have their self-esteem right, don't have their manhood right. You know what I'm saying? You run into cats who really get pissed off at little shit, start petty beefs over nothing. But it's really because you came along and you intimidated who they thought they were. You made them feel bad just by standing there. So, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to find a way. What I always do is, I don't talk about money or business or nothing to nobody unless somebody give me the green light about it. Otherwise, man, I'm a Raider fan. I'm a Laker fan, homie. I'm listening to West Coast rap music. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving down the street. I'm eating fish on Friday. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting me some Italian water ice in Philadelphia. I'm at some cheesesteaks and Paganos. You understand what I mean? I don't talk none of this shit, man, unless a cat is really giving me the green light and asking my opinion. Since most cats are not on this shit and they on some women shit, and then you talk women, homie. But you know, it's hard for you to keep talking women when you know otherwise, man. When you know, hey, man, this is a teenager's way of thinking about life, always worrying about women. I'm a man. I'm a man now. What kind of, are we talking king shit ever, or are we just talking about women all day? And one of the biggest things I want to apologize for, man, that really is a little bit tougher for most people to handle. And that is, man, look, I put you on a road that you didn't know was here before. This road to this empire, this road to understanding money is something that most people don't really want to know. If you understand what I mean. If I told you that you can have $1 million, but it's going to take 10 years, most people don't want to know how long it's going to take. But that's part of having this knowledge. That's part of being tougher, that you can start sitting here and really plotting out a way. I do this first, they paying me this. I open this kind of business, this business pays that. If I open up 2 or 3, I make this much money. If I buy some property and rent them out, I make this much money. This is how you can really, if you really sat down with where you are right now, homie, you can see the end. And some motherfuckers can't take seeing the end, but it's a beautiful thing for me. You know what I'm saying? The beautiful thing for me is I don't worry about today. I don't really worry about tomorrow, because I have a vision in my head. I have a plan on how I'm going to attack it. I'm going to do this first, do this, and everything's going to fall into place. You know what I'm saying? And I know that because I've been, really forecasting the hustle my whole life. But not, I've been disciplined to this game my whole life. I don't trick no money. I don't have no detrimental people running with me. I don't have no fetishes or bad habits that I've got to cover up for. You know what I'm saying? I try not to lie to people. I try not to, divulge too much information to snitches. You know what I'm saying? The people who just want to find out if they're better than you. You know what I'm saying? I try to walk around this earth in a normal fashion. You understand what I mean? I don't have any special clothes, homie. I'm not rocking no special watches. I'm not doing shit. I'm the dude, like I told you. You would sit next to me. A lot of you cats, some of you cats probably have. Who knows? Probably sat right next to me, or sitting there. I'm eating fish or something else, and y'all motherfuckers sitting right next or across from me, and we shooting the shit about basic shit, homie. We talking about the Lakers or going to get a pastrami burrito or something on the West. You know what I'm saying? So I have to apologize to you for putting you on a road, homie, because don't get me wrong, I'm not really apologizing for the sake of putting you on that road. I'm apologizing because you know what? Sometimes before this point, before all this information came to you, life was pretty scripted, right? You go to school, you get a job, you advance in that job, you get a wife, you have 2.5 kids, you buy a popsicle stick house, y'all play Texas Hold'em in the basement and shit, and everything's gonna be good. And then next thing you know, we just gonna die the next 50 years. And then this motherfucker Freeman come along and say, God damn it, homie, for my boys, for my brothers who've been lost, who really thought that you fucked up in this game by not following those dickheads into school, and by not following them and not being part of that group, I can show you how to beat them. Not just play the game, but manipulate the game to beat the game, to be on top of the game. So you have knowledge that the other motherfuckers going in their slow lane. You know what I'm saying? God, we in the carpool, we passing everybody up on this shit because we know how to add, homie. We know mathematics now. We don't know that weird shit where you spend your whole life trying to tell people you're a good person. That shit has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with slavery, homie, with plantation thinking. So I have to apologize for giving you this route. And like I said, I don't apologize on one hand because, hey, man, somebody got to emancipate all the black people. And it's not my job to do all of them, but it's just my job to do the ones that listen. You know what I'm saying? To make us understand where we could be. And to get everybody out of this dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be owners, makers, kings, shit that we're supposed to run things. But motherfuckers keep telling us to beg for them. So, I wanted to make sure I apologize for all those things. And one other thing, let me throw in one last apology, homie. when you know this kind of information and you know the discipline it takes to get it, it makes you a rare cat, man. It makes you a rare brother, it makes you a rare sister in this game. It makes you rare because not everybody is willing to subject themselves to this kind of discipline in order to make it. You're gonna run into cats who, you know, just hate you for, you know, looking for a way to do. Yeah, you know, he made me feel bad for doing these things, and I bet you he's doing nothing. But if I was doing nothing, motherfucker, how could I tell you something? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, you understand the math on this shit? If I was doing nothing, how could I tell you something? How can I enlighten you? If I was always doing nothing? This is the hate you gonna get, homie. If they can't see it, they don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing they see, they believe without seeing is Jesus and God, homie. But when you a man and you come and you talk this way, and you give them angles and you tell them, this is gonna happen, here's how it's gonna happen. It's like simple mathematics, homie. 2 + 2 is 4. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling one cat on the email. I'm not here to give you shit that is out of this world, homie. I'm not here to tell you I'm not telling you to admire me. I'm not even telling you to come to a damn seminar. I'm not sitting there holding your hands and shit. I'm not doing any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit has been free for a couple of years now, primarily because it's my duty to do so. You know what I'm saying? You can always ask what black people are doing, what they should be doing. I could be jumping on all the dudes on the radio or all these dudes on TV and all these politicians and all these other motherfuckers, or I could decide to do something myself. So I stopped looking outside and pointing fingers, and I started to make sure I did something for my people, for my group, for my race. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize sometimes for, you know what I'm saying, giving you this information. And for a couple of you haters that's sitting there, I know it's a couple, always a couple, who want to sit there and say, Freeman thinks he's the savior, or he has some kind of savior complex or something like that. I really don't, homie. I mean, this is what happens when a motherfucker, look, if a motherfucker taught you how to ride a bike, what do you want to be, the king of all bikes? You know, if a motherfucker taught you how to make money, what do you want to be, the king of all money? See, it just makes sense. It's really coming from a hater point of view, homie. A lot of you cats aren't disciplined enough to take information, say thank you for it, and move on. You don't understand that. So instead, you want to know, how did this dude get it? Where does he come from? What are his flaws? I bet you he's not as disciplined as us. He's not doing this. That's the bitch in you, homie. That's when I got another podcast coming up about that, about you not knowing how to receive information and be humble, and who taught us to always think this way. But this is my apology podcast, man. This is my big, bold-faced apology to a lot of you cats, because the shit that someone taught you, the things that I learned, the things that I read, the things that people have taught me, I just tried to put it into a more compact form so we can be potent, homie. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to that 149 proof. I'm trying to really get that shit to the point where you take one little capful and it's going to knock you on your ass. I've been working real hard to alleviate all the bullshit, to alleviate all the inspiration, to get rid of all that fucking puffery and shit and fuckery that everybody else talk about, homie. I'm trying to give you something that if you listen to the podcast for 20 to 25 minutes, the shit is going to be something for you to think about. When the cat is telling me he's sitting there at the security guard and he's listening to the podcast, he's building. I'm building with that brother. When another cat is telling me he went back to school, we building. I'm building with that brother. When another cat is saying he got enough money, he should have enough money to buy his first house and he gonna have it way before everybody else, we building. That's what the power of a black man can do if we all try to do it together. We don't have to come together and hold hands. We can break bread with each other, share ideas with each other, help each other out, and we don't even have to be next to each other. You understand what I'm saying? This is what we can do if we share our trials and tribulations. I mean, I just want to be one of the people that did it. So I apologize. Well, really, I don't really give a fuck, so I don't apologize. That was just me trying to make this whole podcast. I don't apologize, homie. Take the bullets, homie. Some of us came to be kings. Most of these motherfuckers came to be underlings. Most of these bitches came to be peasants. You take on the road of being king, you should enjoy all the spoils. With it comes the motherfuckers who want the throne. So be it, homie. What would we rather be, the bitch on the bottom eating bread or the king on the top breaking bread? You understand what I'm saying? Next time, partner.
I apologize for being black, for all I am plus all I lack. Please, sir, please, ma'am, give me some slack, cause I apologize. I apologize for being poor, for being sick and tired and so. Since I ain't slick, don't know the scope, I do apologize. I apologize because I bear resemblance most black people share. Thick lips, flat nose, and nappy hair. Yes, I apologize. I apologize for how I look, for all the lows and blows I took. On those, Lord knows I'd close the book as I apologize. I apologize for all I gave, for letting you make me your slave and go into my early grave. Yes, I apologize. I apologize for being caught, for being sold, for being bought, while being told I count for naught. Yeah, I apologize. I apologize for all I've done, for all my toil out in the sun. Don't want to spoil your righteous fun, so I apologize. I apologize and curse my kind for being fooled, for being blind, for being ruled and in your bind. Yes, I apologize. I apologize and curse my fate for being slow, for being late, because I know it's me you hate. Why not apologize? I apologize and tip my hat, cause you so rich and free and fat. Son of a bitch, that's where it's at, and I apologize.